Hi friends, welcome back to the Knits by Lillian podcast. We have so much to go over today. I have a test call for my Beachside cardigan and the mock cable edition because 2-in-1 pattern. What's not to love? Since the last whip update, I have completely started all new whips. So if you've been here before or if you've never watched a podcast, we're all on the same ground today because I like casting on new things and I always get stuck on Sleeve Island. So grab a bev. Today we've got a lovely iced tea. Grab some yarn. Let's crack into it. So our first order of business is these guys right here. And I am so excited about this. So I'm gonna show you the one that I'm more excited about first. This is the mock cable version of the Beachside cardigan. Look at that stitch pattern. I think this is the knit that I'm the most proud of ever having designed. And that's saying a lot. I've knit a lot of things. I've designed a lot of things. So we have no buttons on here. I wove in the ends about 10 minutes ago. Here's the stockinette version. So let me give you the backstory here. This mock cable version has been cast on approximately 900 times. Okay, my roommate in college, my dear friend, has a cardigan that looks just like this from, I think it's from Old Navy. And whenever we're hanging out, I steal it from her. And I always used to mooch it out of her wardrobe. And I have been saying for years, literally years, that I wanted to knit or design a cardigan that looked like it. And I could never find a cardigan with all over lace, mock cable. I think the one that she has, it's kind of ribbed, but I wanted it to lie flatter. It looks almost completely identical. I'll see if I can track down a picture to show. But it's knit bottom up. And then some shapings worked around the sleeve through here. Or I suppose the armhole since there's no sleeve yet. Optional short rows at the top of the shoulder. And then we've got a 3-needle bind off here across the top. So the 3-needle bind off, I think I'm gonna list it as optional in the pattern if you do the mock cable version and you'd prefer to Kitchener stitch that together so it looks a little bit more smooth, that would be fine by me. But I really wanted the reinforced structure of that 3-needle bind off on the stockinette version. So they're constructed exactly the same. The pattern's exactly the same. The only difference is the stitch pattern. So we've got a V-neck here. This one also doesn't have buttons. I wove in these ends also just a second ago. So my idea is, my thought process behind this is, if you've never knit a cardigan or you've never knit a garment, this is a great place to start. It's all stockinette. Once you get to the sleeves, shaping is optional. There's a little bit of tapering down the sleeve. But if you want a wide sleeve, you don't want to do decreases, that's optional. That's totally fine. This one's just a little puckered in from that. So my goal was that if you're not super confident with garment knitting or lace knitting or stitch patterns or shaping, whatever it may be, you have the option to work the full garment in stockinette first. And now, granted, you could do this with probably most patterns, but I wanted it to really be very beginner friendly because I have a lot of people that are just starting to knit that follow me or are asking me for knitting tutorials or easy patterns, and I don't really have any like basic classic patterns, but I wanted to put a twist on it, and that's why we have the mock cable guide, just because there's more variety. If you've knit a billion cardigans, this is the one for you, unless you want to do both. I kind of like having both, to be honest. So my end goal for this is that I'm gonna film a tutorial for the entire sweater. So I don't think I'll have that done for my testers, but I'll have that done for sure for the pattern release. I'm gonna try and give my testers 10 to 12 weeks. It's a really quick knit, especially if you knit the stockinette version. I think the gauge is 16 stitches, is 4 inches or 10 centimeters, which is, this flies, okay? And so this yarn is Hobbi Portobello. It is acrylic wool, or acrylic and wool. So it's super, super light. But this, it doesn't look like as open of a stitch pattern it is as it really is. You can tell like it's loose a little bit, but it's not Like it's not opaque. Wait, no, opaque is the one you can't see through. It's not translucent. Do I have a degree in STEM? Anyway, it knits up so quickly, okay? So, if you've never done a test knit before, or you've never done a garment test knit before, this is the one, okay? There's so many ways to make this pattern accessible, to make it easy. I have it in, it's graded for 9 sizes, 10 sizes. I'll put all the information in the application form, which will be linked in the bio. I think full chest size up to 65 inches. Don't trust me, trust the Google Doc, trust the Google form. But yeah, I'm so excited about this. I don't know if you can see the V-neck super well. And then this sample is Blue Sky Fibers Organic Cotton. Same gauge. I used a different needle size for the lace versus the stockinette to get the same gauge, but because the lace is literally just a couple of knit two together and yarn overs, it doesn't change the gauge too much, so it's not much gappier or much tighter. So I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to see the samples you guys knit up. I can't wait to make 8,000 more samples for myself. I was like, oh no, I have to order yarn to make another sample for the test video. How will I live? I literally bought yarn today, okay? Let's jump into that. But okay, before we move on, any questions you have about any of those garments, fit, gauge, positive, negative ease, or whatever you want it to fit as. Any information, Google Doc or Google form with the application. So check that out. If you have any questions, shoot me a message on Instagram. Okay, in the vein of cardigans, I am on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I get ads because I'm a sucker, okay? I like buying things online, sue me. But I keep getting ads for this very specific cardigan, tie in the front, cable on the back. Hello, are you kidding? It's not something that I would normally go for, but you better believe I'm already swatching for it. Hello? Okay, this is a little bit loose, so don't look at that. Clearly it's not been blocked. This yarn is on sale. Berroco Vento. Baby alpaca, acrylic, and wool. And look at the halo. So I wanted to find a yarn that was going to have the drape kind of through the sleeve. It seems like it's a balloon sleeve, and then it's kind of closed at the wrist, which I love how that looks. I think it looks very feminine, very chic, very elegant. So I did a swatch to see how that would work up. This also isn't blocked. I did it 20 minutes ago. So I think the sleeves, it looks like it's just stockinette. So I wanted that, envision this. I wanted this drape. Also, okay, I don't know, how do we feel about this color? This is not something I would usually knit with, but I kind of like it. It was on sale, okay? And they had one skein of a navy blue that looked really similar to the picture that I put up, but I wanted to get it today because, you know, you have a vision and you're locked in and you're like, I gotta start this, I gotta cast it on because I love casting things on, okay? So I think I might do another sample in navy blue because I really like that. There's also like a white, off-white cream version, which I think would look really pretty over like any summer dress, any sundress ever. But yeah, I wanted to cast it on today. So here is what we're working with. I'm excited. I think also for an initial sample, I think the cabling is gonna show up much better in this light pink than with the navy blue. I'm trying to think. But I think this is gonna look really good. So I really like the halo on this yarn. I've never worked with it before, but I like, Berroco's a trusty brand, right? They're coming through. And I think that this is gonna be a good texture because I didn't wanna do, my initial thought was I have some knitting for olive merino and mohair in stash that I bought on a trip a few months ago, and I've been saving for a special project because that's nice yarn. And in the US, I can never find it in person, and we're in Canada, and I looked through every color under the sun And I got this burnt orange clay-esque combo that I love. But I think with the tie in the front, I think it's a summer garment or a transitional piece, excuse me, which makes me think lighter, beachier colors. So maybe I'll do the burnt orange sample later on. I feel like it needed to be burnt orange cables. Maybe we'll do a pullover version because I love how the back looks with the full cabling and then the stockinette sleeve. Let me know, do you think it would make a good pullover? I'm really excited about this. So it looks like they have a couple of different cables in the picture. I'm kind of just eyeballing it. So we've got a little 2-strand twist here, and then this is 2 3x3, so like 6 stitch across, 3 crossover cables, and then it's 2 twisted in toward each other, and then the other one is, I think, just a thicker braided cable. But I think there's just some pearls in between. I think this is gonna look so elegant. I don't have too many fancy knits. Most of my knits are much more hardy and outdoorsy and for the winter time and for warmth. So I'm excited to have something that's a little bit more dainty. I'm so glad we're catching this on video because this cat is, how old are you? 15? She's ancient, okay? And nobody believes me that she's also psychotic because people are like, that cat's too old, she wouldn't do that. But this little stone situation here, jumping at it, getting it with the fingies, yelling, I don't really know, but it seems like you're having a good time, so. Okay, what I'm hearing is TikTok cardigan is olive approved. Okay, so moving right along, this is the Mey Camisole by Cardigan Studio, and I am obsessed with this. The color, hello? Are you joking? So the construction of this is so cool, okay? It is, you work the body, and then I don't want to give away too much because it's a paid pattern, and so I don't want anyone stealing secrets. But you work these ribbing bands afterwards. Let me show you the side where I did better increases. To get this seamless fit. Like, isn't that just such a cool idea? And I just saw on her Instagram, I think, that there's another pattern that they did. It's really similar, but it's kind of a wider neck. So this is a bit more square and it hits a little bit closer to the shoulders, but it looks so chic. Like, this is a top you could wear with anything. And I've never really knitted anything in this color, so I'm super excited about that. It's not quite neon green, it's not quite brat summer, but we're gonna lean in that direction. So the body then is just stockinette. I'm trying to show you how even my stitches are, and it doesn't look that even on camera. In my mind, I'm like, I've never knit anything this evenly. I've been trying to work on my gauge in stockinette. Okay, yeah, now there's gaps, and I've been trying to work on my gauge in stockinette because I'm such a loose knitter. And especially in the summer, when my hands are warm, I feel like that's a good time to practice knitting tighter and cleaner because I'm jumping ahead of myself, but my next whip, look how loose these stitches are, okay? There are holes, there are gaps, and I think blocking will fix it, but this sample is much more neat and tidy, especially this ribbing. This hurt my hands, okay? I was using metal needles. They were practically squeaking. It was so unlike me, but it turned out really good. I just wanted it to really have a lot of elasticity, and I wanted those stitches to be really tight since it kind of supports like the entire structure of the garment. So now it wasn't the moment for loose baggy knitting. It is part of the reason that I knit quickly, but also causes some problems. Usually if I size down a couple needle sizes, it's fine. I love this so much. I think that looks so cool and so unique. I can't wait to wear this with like wide leg trousers or like a linen pant and a belt. The body doesn't have any shaping, but I think because of the way my body is shaped, I'm gonna add a couple decreases starting right about where we are to kind of pull the waist in. Just because I've found that unless something is super cropped, like a shirt or a tank top or something, unless it's really cropped, I probably won't wear it if I just knit it straight down, just because it looks loose, baggy, potato sack, burlap sack-esque, and that's not what we're going for. It's not chic for summer. Okay, next order of business. If you're taking notes, this is the moment you'll notice that we indeed have not talked about any whips from last week or 2 weeks ago. Those will make a reappearance. Here's my loose knitting back to haunt me. I actually love how this is turning out. I feel like if you're gonna make anything, sorry, okay, let's, what the heck? Please ignore my working strand coming out of the neck. I can't ignore it. Okay, I feel like if you're gonna knit, I dropped it. If you're gonna knit anything loosely, I feel like a summer tank top is it. And this is the Thea top by Paula Strict. Now, I haven't knit any of her patterns before, but I think she's kind of an iconic designer, and so many classic wearable multi-seasonal pieces. It's giving sustainable capsule wardrobe. So I've got the top of this done already. This yarn is, please hold while I consult my notes, BC Garn Bio Balance. So it's 55% wool, 45% cotton. I've done the little trim here because, as always, we're playing yarn chicken, but it's just a super simple 1x1 rib. I love the depth of this neckline. I think that's really pretty. It's not low enough that, like what I have on now, it's not low enough that you're gonna cause a scandal in the workplace, but I think it's gonna be cooler for summer. I do kind of wish that the back also had that scoop neck. I almost want to do one and just knit 2 fronts instead of a front and a back, so I could have that shape. We'll finish this one first and see how it fits. I'm also doing body shaping on this pattern. This one also does not have body shaping included. I haven't done too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've done 4 decreases on either side already. The gauge is pretty small, so that doesn't amount to very much. I think the 8 stitches total is maybe 1 inch. I think I'm just gonna keep decreasing at that rate. I've tried it on, it fits pretty well. It's a little bit looser than I thought, which I'm fine with. And then yeah, we're just gonna knit until we run out of yarn, and then we'll cast off. I think the bottom ribbing is super similar to, I think it's gonna be just 1x1 ribbing again. So we'll see how much I can block out my loose baggy stitches, but I think this is gonna be really good. I don't really have any garments like this. I knitted, let's see, the mini mock neck tank Jessie made last summer in a yarn really similar shade to this. I think it's Drops Baby Merino. I don't know why I'm looking over there like I wrote the answer on something. I think it's Drops Baby Merino. I really like the color, but I think I've talked about this before. I love that pattern by Jessie made, but I never wear it because the mock neck in the summer I'm just too warm. I overheat, I'm a sweaty girl, but I don't wear it really in the winter either because it's cropped and it doesn't have sleeves. So I really like it and I never get any use out of it, but I know I like the color, and I know the color goes with a lot of things I have. I'm envisioning later summer this and then kind of a linen shirt over it. So I'm excited. This is worked up so quickly too. I did most of this in like 2 or 3 days. So loving this so far. Let me know if there's other Paula Strict patterns I should try, because I know a lot of her patterns are very iconic and very classic, like we said. So those are the whips that I have worked on since we last spoke. I've made progress in a couple of the whips that I had been working on previous to the last podcast, but some of those are kind of in a stage where they're a mess. And by some, I mean all. So we'll see those again when we see them. I've been trying to reorganize my yarn stash and everything, and so I just pushed them under my couch. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I put them in a yarn bowl and I went, am I proud of that? No, but also yes, because I don't have to look at it and at least I moved it. Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you so much for watching. Place your bets now in the comment section to see if I will have moved the yarn from under my couch by the time we meet again. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, all the things apply to the test knit. If you don't think you can test knit, yes you can. This is the one to do it on. Mark my words. I will see you next time.